Welcome to the Worthy Bitch podcast, the place where we discuss all things self-worth so we can stop living life as a victim and start living life on purpose. My name is Autumn. I'm your host and the creatrix of the Worthy Bitch. I am so excited that you have made the decision to embark on your Worthy Bitch journey. Now let's dive into ourselves. I've been realizing lately that I still have healing to do from a toxic relationship that I was in years ago with a certain type of individual that is not really equipped to handle relationships. But I'm realizing these things arising for me in the form of like weird trauma. It's like a PTSD feeling. Like, since my life is progressing now and I'm making so many changes and things are happening, I'm getting married, and every time I've been realizing lately, I don't know if it's because like things are changing. I really don't know what's causing it. It wants to be seen. That's what it is, like, so it can be healed, because it's time to let go of that. But every time Josh is on his way home, or I think about him coming home, I start to feel scared. But it's not of him. It's just like a trauma response from the previous relationship. Can you relate to that? If you've ever been in a relationship with like a narcissist or a sociopath or something like that, someone who's very controlling, and your world gets turned upside down, and not in a good way, it takes a long time to recover from that. But everything is manipulated in your life, and so you don't view things clearly. And even though that relationship ended several years ago, it has taken me a long time to, find myself and reconnect with the truth of who I am, and allow myself to be that, and to be okay with it, and to not be scared of every little thing, like that the other shoe's about to drop any minute. But that's what I realize is happening, is that like, oh man, even though this ended in like 2017 or something like that, like years ago, I still am feeling, maybe it was 2016, I think it was 2017, but I'm still feeling like the aftermath, like the aftershock, and like, even though I think that I've healed from it completely, I'm still seeing there are certain things that are like programmed that I need to recognize and I need to work through. I need to understand why it's happening. Like, why? I mean, when I was in that relationship, I was always scared for him to come home because I never knew what I was going to get, right? So now that's showing up in this relationship where I don't need to feel that way. And so my job is to learn from that experience, accept it, like, and move on from it and integrate it in my being so I can use it for good, to benefit myself. Because everything has a flip side, right? Anything that you deem to be a negative experience has a positive one attached to it, if you choose to see it that way. So now my job is to recognize why is that arising for me now all of a sudden. It started probably a couple of months ago. I started noticing it, but it's getting stronger and stronger. And I'm not sure why. It's like a weird feeling. I think I spoke about it on another episode. I do have an episode all about that toxic relationship. It's one of my first episodes. If you want to go check that out, I think it's like number 8 or 9 or something like that. But it talks about my experience of going through that and, getting through it and afterwards. And that I recorded that last year. So, but, yeah, so I'm sitting here wondering what wants to be seen? Like, why does this want to be seen? What in me is afraid of what? Like, why is this coming up for me? It's a feeling of like, oh shit, what's about to happen? Like, what is he going to say? He's going to be disappointed in me. He's going to nitpick every little thing and tear me apart. And like, this is things from my previous relationship. This is not Josh at all. So I don't feel like, I know that it's not coming from him because I don't have to feel that way with him. This is literally just coming from the past, but it's like, I just need to see it so I can move through it. And like speaking it out loud right now is kind of helping me process it, because I've been recognizing that it's been arising for me, but it's getting stronger and I'm just not sure why. I think that it's just my own like trauma response from the past. Like my whole life has always been about like running away, trying to run away from myself, really, which you can't do because wherever you go, there you are. And once I finally understood that, I was like, oh, because I always thought that was so stupid, but now I finally get it. Like, you can never escape your emotions and your feelings. That's up to you to take responsibility for them and like, why are they there, and to work through them. And yeah, that's how you live your life. You can't get away from that. It's a part of who you are. It's a part of being human. It's a part of having a body. You have emotions. You have energies in motion inside of your body for you to feel. It's part of our connection with this planet. So what about my connection with this planet is making me feel this way? And what have I not seen, healed, let go of, assimilated, integrated into my life and learned from? What do I need to learn from that experience? What do I need to learn from the experience of fear of a man coming? Because I feel like it's men, like just in general at this point. So I'm not sure, but it's definitely like a relationship thing, because I care about what he thinks of me, and so I want him to be happy. And so the fear of like, oh, is he going to be unhappy with me type of thing, even though that's not the situation I'm in. We're very happy together, but yeah, so that's where I am. I'm sure some of you can relate. I'm sure some of you have gone through that or are currently going through that, and I want you to know that you're not alone. Even if it's been years and years since you got out of that situation, or it hasn't, it doesn't matter how long it's been, there's no rules on your healing. You're allowed to heal the way that you heal. Just keep moving forward, 1% better every day. So my job is to start healing that little piece, loving on it every single day, every time I feel it arise, being with it. Why are you here? What do you want me to see? What do you want me to learn? What do you want me to hear? What do you want me to do with you so we can move forward? Because this is an uncomfortable feeling that I don't want to feel anymore. So you're not alone if you're experiencing things like that. For anything, like PTSD is real, and there's no rules on your healing. I don't care if somebody says, oh, it's been however long. Who are they? Who made them the timekeeper and what the rules of your healing and how it's supposed to be for you? Like, no, don't care. Don't listen to that. I don't care who it is. You honor yourself. As long as you know that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, that's all that matters. And I honestly feel like I'm healing that wound right now as I'm speaking, because it feels like when I was in that past relationship, that person didn't want me to work, so I never really did anything. And then I was also really depressed because I wasn't doing anything with my life. I was just only taking care of, the family, and that wasn't where I was at in my life. I was like 22 years old, and I like to connect with people. I like to be out in the world. And so I was very depressed during that time, and also, being manipulated and stuff. But I always felt like, oh my gosh, did I do enough? is everything clean enough? You know, can you relate to this? Like, is everything going to be okay when they get here? Like, oh gosh, you know, but it doesn't matter. Like, as long as you are happy with you and what you've done, that's what matters, right? And the more insecure you feel, the more they're going to pick up on that, and the more they're going to feed into that, right? Just going to like find that weakness and then like dig in it. So maybe this is like, for me, stemming from not feeling like I do enough, ever. Can you relate to that? Like, ever. Never feeling like I am doing enough. And then anytime giving myself a break feels like I'm wasting time or somebody's going to be mad at me, I'm going to be punished. So I end up punishing myself because there's nobody here now that's punishing me for it. So it's just like weird programming that we have to undo. I've been working on this for a long, long time, so I can see it so clearly, but I'm also still learning to process it and work through it. It's getting a lot easier. It's getting a lot quicker. I've come a long way. I by far do not feel anywhere near to how I did in the beginning, which was the end of the relationship, but that was the beginning of my healing. That was the beginning of my conscious spiritual journey. That was the beginning of all of like my life, really, it feels like, coming out of that and having to relearn how to be. So I want you to know that you're not alone. And I want you to know that I'm here with you and I see you, and no matter where you are on your journey, it's perfect. Don't hate it. Honor it. Even if it feels uncomfortable, recognize it for what it is instead of judging it and pushing it away. Become friends with it. That's what we're supposed to do. That's the only way. It makes me think of, that's the only way we can move through it. It makes me think of that movie Inside Out. It's a little cartoon, and it's like this girl Riley and all of her emotions on the inside. So there's joy and sadness and anger and fear. And I think that's all of them. Oh, no. There's the other one too. There's the envy or something. Yeah, envy. She's green. But so sadness is always sad, and when they go to find this other character on the movie and he's sad, Joy's trying to cheer him up and he won't cheer up. He's just sad because Joy's trying to do joyful things to cheer it up and like pretend like the sadness isn't even there, and it wasn't working. And then sadness herself came over and sat with the other character that was sad, and just was there with it, recognized the sadness for what it was, and allowed it to be. And then it moved through instead of holding on to it. It moved through, and he felt better so much quickly. He was seen, right? So a lot of times there's something inside that just wants to be seen. It wants to be heard. It wants to be understood to the best of your ability. And so you guys can like become friends and move on in life together. It won't hurt anymore after that. The pain becomes less and less and less and less and less, constantly. Everything always is working out in your favor. Everything gets to be good for you. Don't tell yourself otherwise. So I'm going to be working on my PTSD and that trauma response of feeling fear when I think about my man coming home, because that is the opposite of what I want to feel, especially with him giving me absolutely no reason to feel that way. Like, I'm excited for him to come home always, but then there's that little tinge in my stomach that's like, ooh, which is definite, like, and it hasn't been there always, but it's just like from that, it wants to be seen now. It's rising now. It wants to be healed so we can move on in our marriage without that. No more of that, right? So that's my job today. And I want you to know I see you. I'm here for you. I'm with you. And I love you. And everything's gonna be okay. Yeah. And if you loved this episode, don't forget to subscribe and rate and share with a friend who needs to hear it.
Also, I would love if you could leave me a review on iTunes and take a screenshot and email it over to me at theworthybitch@gmail.com. That's theworthyb, period, TCH, at gmail.com. Link is in the show notes, and I will send you a free gift of my 30 affirmations for the doshas that will assist you in your practice to find balance. And as always, I thank you so much for taking this time today to show up for yourself and do the work.